Hey, how's everyone doing? It's your boy Jeff, and we're back with another Undisputed Podcast episode. Got my co-host Zach Cooper, who's going to be breaking down his perspective of the match and everything that's going on. Today we're going to be reviewing Owen Hart versus Farooq for the WWF Intercontinental Championship, which has been vacated at this point. And it's the finals of a tournament that I guess they've been running on Raw at In Your House Bad Blood in 1997. I'm going to just go ahead and spoil it. It wasn't really much of a match, but I'm going to give everything in its context a grade because it really wasn't much of a match. Michael Cole is backstage talking about Stone Cold vacating the IC title. Owen then marches in with a Owen 316 shirt. Cheap heat, as Stone Cold would call it on commentary, which we'll get to that soon. Owen stumbles with some of his words in his promo, which, it's fine, I guess, and demands that WWF officials do their job and keep Austin away from him, or else it's a lawsuit. Farooq is then backstage a little bit later on in the show with the Nation of Domination, which now has Rocky Maivia in it, who is going to make his transition to The Rock. And he says that Stone Cold or Steve Austin couldn't hold a candle to him or walk around on his block. And Farooq then says that it's nation business. Straight up, it's nation business when it comes to the Intercontinental Championship. And that Steve Austin is just another name and he will whoop Owen's ass. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Both guys then make their way down to the ring, but Stone Cold Steve Austin walks out shortly. And he has to go sit next to Commissioner Slaughter because Stone Cold is going to be presenting the winner with the Intercontinental Championship. Stone Cold is pissed as he's coming out. He flips off Owen Hart and then just chucks the title on the announce table. And he's just talking shit to Vince. And then he ends up ringing the bell with a wrench. This was just funny. Austin then grabs Vince's headset and starts doing color commentary. He's talking shit to Vince and everyone. He's talking shit to Farooq. He's talking shit to Owen Hart. And then he gives the headset back to Vince. He takes Jerry Lawler's headset and then goes back down to sit. The match itself would start with Farooq. He takes down Owen with a shoulder tackle, and then he kind of chucks Owen from like a back suplex position down on his face. He's basically asserting his dominance early in the match. And then in between the match, we have like a split screen, like Stone Cold is now using a walkie-talkie. Then we go back into the ring now with Owen countering by sliding under Farouk's legs on an Irish whip attempt and then hitting his spinning heel kick. Owen is attacking the knee and working Farooq over like with a little wear down submission of like a heel hook and doing all sorts of different attacks to the knees. Outside the ring, Stone Cold is now talking on the Spanish announce table's headset. And he's talking shit, and he's like, I hope you guys aren't saying anything bad about me in Spanish. And then he takes the French headset, and he's doing the same thing. And he was like, where's your next event in Canada going to be? Montreal Survivor Series? Foreshadowing for a match we're going to be reviewing in the near future. Which will be in November. This pay-per-view took place in early October. Okay. Let me find it. Owen is still working over the leg while all this is going on, but Farooq ends up countering in the corner. Farooq ends up hitting some sort of like gut buster. I didn't know if it wanted to be a gut buster or a backbreaker. It just kind of happened. He gets a 2 count. Then Farooq slams Owen again, goes up to the top rope for a leg drop, and he misses. Owen then goes for a sharpshooter attempt, but Farooq is able to power out. Farooq then hits a power slam, ends up getting a 2 count. Jim the Anvil Neidhart then comes down to the ring. Farooq then would hit a spine buster as he's coming down on Owen Hart. He would get a 2 count. Jim the Anvil Neidhart distracts the referee, and Austin ends up smacking Farooq in the head with the title belt. Owen would then cover Farooq shortly thereafter. He wins the match, and Austin just chucks the belt in the ring. And just walks off, and Jim the Anvil Neidhart and Owen Hart bail because Farooq just gets up all pissed. And then Owen is saying in the hard cam that he basically did this all by himself. Yeah, okay. All of this was chaotic. Some of it was entertaining, like hearing Stone Cold and Vince go back and forth, and, like that stuff was entertaining. This wasn't really much of a match. But with me, I kind of grade everything that happens, like the backstage stuff, the match itself, and the little shit that happens during the match, post-match. I grade all that together. This was not, I mean, it was entertaining in terms of, like, Stone Cold, but it really wasn't that much of a match, and it wasn't all that great, to be honest. So I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5 for the simple fact that Stone Cold kind of carried with his trash talk and stuff. They didn't really give these guys a whole lot of time to have much of a match. But Farooq asserting his dominance, Owen getting a cheap win in the end of the tournament to crown him the new Intercontinental Champion. Like, some of the antics and stuff were good, but the match really wasn't much of a match. So I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5. We'll hear what Zach has to say, and then we got a killer match that we're going to be reviewing next on the same pay-per-view. And it should be a ton of fun, man. So hopefully you guys enjoy. See you around.